Hello and welcome to the channel's book club. 11th October was the International Day of the Girl Child. It was a day meant to celebrate feminism. That's why we decided to have two special guests on our show today who remind us of the tremendous talents of our girls. Our first guest, Ariyo Oshoko, is a talented young lady who functions as a creative writer, animator, and publisher. Ariyo represents one of the many young entrepreneurs operating in our creative industry against all sorts of difficult odds. She joined us to discuss her book, her experiences in publishing, and her interest in creating Nigeria's own brand of animations for children. Please join us after this break. Ariyo, thank you for joining us on the channel's book club.
You're welcome.
Before we talk about your publications for children, and particularly A Taste of Royal Blood, your book, let's talk about you. You have a very interesting story. You were a professional, and then you resigned your job to go into publishing. Can you explain what happened?
I remember I was a customer service agent with Air Nigeria. I did the job for a year. Then I proceeded to Protea Hotel Kuramo Waters in Victoria Island, where I served as a reservations agent for 6 months. And 6 months into the job, I found out that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I've always had this longing for writing books for children, colorful books for children, you know, something worth reading. And I needed to give the Nigerian children something they can see and say, yes, this came out of my country. And so I resigned because of the passion that I have for writing for children.
Prior to your experience as a customer service professional, what were you doing?
Well, I served as a personal assistant to a medical doctor turned publisher. Okay. And I was with her for 4 years while I was in the university because I was running a part-time program. Okay. And so I was doing that simultaneously. I was schooling and I was working.
Sounds like it was sounds like it was a publishing firm.
Yes, exactly.
So you had about 4 years experience doing that.
Yes.
So by all standards, you are a young Nigerian graduate.
Yes.
And okay, then you quit your last job to start the publishing firm. And that's also very interesting.
Yes.
Because starting a business, any kind of business in Nigeria is tough.
It is tough.
Challenging.
Yes.
So when you now zero in on starting a publishing firm, what has that been like?
I must confess, it hasn't been easy because I came across a lot of people who said, why don't you give your book to publishers? And I said, no, I want to self-publish. I want to, because I didn't see the possibility of having it the way I would want it. Because if I want to submit my manuscript to someone else, they may say, oh, it's too colorful, it's this, it's that. And I really wanted something attractive, something, you know, because if you're going to give children something to read, I desired that I would give them something that would pull them in. Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to create books that seemed like an interesting world. And if you come across something interesting, you would definitely want to, if you're the inquisitive type, you would definitely want to see what's happening here. And that was why I said, I'm going to set up my own publishing company and do it the way I really, really want.
You are bold. No, really bold. I always say those who start businesses in Nigeria, they're courageous people. They are heroes. Yeah. So again, well done. Now, the Royal Blood. A Taste of Royal Blood. I like the packaging. I like the production, and the story is quite intriguing for you. Why did you pick this title? And why did you choose to create your book this way, in terms of the storyline?
Well, A Taste of Royal Blood the word blood particularly has always gotten some people skeptical.
Oh yes, you're wondering taste of royal blood.
There was a school I took it to,
thinking
and
vampires.
was like, oh, blood. We don't want blood and all that. But you know, like they say, the life of a thing is in its blood. And if you look at the plot structure, the plot was wielded around a group of bed bugs living on the king's bed. Now, these bugs already had a life, or let me use the word have life. They're already alive. Now, when they suck the king's blood, the essence is to add an extra life to their already essence of existence. Now,
okay.
With that, if you look at, if you remember this adage, a cat has 9 lives. Now, they wanted to acquire extra lives by sucking the king's blood. That was the motivation for the word blood.